Before attempting this tutorial, you may need to go through the tutorial reading chords and scale maps. You might also want to download the PDF of the first month of the GCH Guitar Academy guitar course. This is completely free and can be downloaded from the website at www.guitar-academy.com. The first open chord we'll attempt is E minor 7th. This is probably the easiest chord you can get. To play E minor 7th, simply get the first finger and place it on the second thickest string in the second fret. Then strum all the strings of your guitar. You might want to try this slowly so you can hear each individual note ring out. If the notes don't ring out, if you have any muted tones, you need then to find out why. If it's the fingered string, then you need to press harder. If the strings which aren't ringing out haven't got fingers on, then it's because your finger isn't upright enough on the strings. You might need to move the thumb around the back of the guitar to bring the finger onto its tip. This means the finger won't overlap onto other strings and the chord should sound clean. Attempt this a few times until you can get the chord clean. Then take the finger off and put it back and try again. Half of the battle is getting the chord in the first place, so it's a good idea to practice removing the chord, reapplying it, and so on and so forth. Once you're happy with your E minor 7th chord, we can move on to a slightly harder chord, the E minor chord. This chord has two fingers. The first finger goes in the same place as it did with E minor 7th, on the second fret of the second thickest string. The second finger goes next to it, on the second fret of the third thickest string. You can now strum the chord in the same way you did with the E minor 7th, trying to hear each individual string ringing out. And in the same way as you did with the E minor 7th, adjust the fingers until the chord is clean. Then remove the chord completely and reapply it, checking if it's clean. Do this several times until you feel you can get the chord quite quickly without dead strings. Once you can play these two chords cleanly, you can move on to the first full chord exercise, which has a C, an A minor and a G7th. At this stage, when you get a new chord, it's a good idea to work through your fingers numerically. So apply the first finger first, the second finger, the third finger and the fourth finger. To simplify things, we'll refer to the strings as their numbers. The first string is the thinnest string and the sixth string is the thickest string. So, to play C, we put the first finger in the first fret of the second string. We put the second finger in the second fret of the fourth string. And we put the third finger in the third fret of the fifth string. When strumming the C chord, we don't play all the strings, we miss the thickest string and play the top 5 strings. Once you're happy with your C chord, we can move on to an A minor. The difference between a C and an A minor is only one finger, so the first and second finger can remain in place. We simply remove the third finger from the third fret of the fifth string and move it across to the second fret of the third string. This process can then be reversed and we can go between the C and the A minor and the C and the A minor until you feel comfortable with the two chords. The final chord shape in the first exercise is G7th. Unfortunately for G7, you have to remove all the fingers and reapply them. However, you can see a similarity between the G7th shape and the C shape. To play G7th then, we put the first finger in the first fret of the first string, the second finger in the second fret of the fifth string, and the third finger in the third fret of the sixth string. To play G7, we strum all the strings. Finally, you can put together the whole chord exercise in the order illustrated. When you're happy with that chord exercise, you can move on to the next one.